Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a routine that is guaranteed to improve your break building and cue ball control. So you're probably wondering what these lines are on the table. So when everyone's doing the line-up, a common mistake that I see is people land just far too close to the cushion. They end up too close to the cushion. It just has a knock-on effect. You end up further and further away, and then you end up missing, and it's very frustrating. So I've put these little bits of masking tape on the table. One's in line with the yellow spot, one's in line with the green spot. So obviously I'm a little bit more confident in my cue ball control, so I've just put it a little bit closer in. If you're just starting out, obviously you can bring these further out, give yourself maybe a foot from the cushion, and just give yourself a little bit more room to play in. Obviously if you're playing a club, I know you can't start putting masking tape on the table, so you've just got to imagine, just use a cue, imagine a cue, a foot from the cushion, same on the other side, and just try and keep the cue ball in this tight area. So obviously if you watched the channel before, you'll know that any shot that isn't dead straight, I will play with a trace of either left or right hand side. So this first red, this being a slightly left cut, I would always play with a trace of right, and then any right cut, I will play with a trace of left, but we'll talk more about that as we go. There'll be a cue ball on screen so you can see exactly where I'm aiming as well. So let's start the drill. I'll play the first shot. First shot, trace of right, just below centre. Very common again to see people aim too low on the cue ball because they try and keep it away from this red. Too low on the cue ball, then they just end up almost screwing the white, and the cue ball ends more on this line and probably around here, so you end up too low. So just coming up a little bit on the cue ball just makes it come off the cushion and more up this line. So trace of right, so just below centre. It comes up more on this line and not too wide. So similar shot now. So just below centre, trace of right. Just gives me nice control. Similar shot on the bottom red. Trace of right, just below centre. As you can see, it just doesn't bring the white just too wide. Keeps you a lot closer to the balls, and the closer you are, just makes everything a little bit more easy. So I'm going to same the shot again. Trace of right, just below centre. Off the cushion and out for the red. So just notice as well, just notice how close my bridge hand is to the cue ball. I like being a little bit closer, probably on all of my shots now. I feel it gives me more control. I don't like, especially on shots where I'm playing a little bit more delicate and close control, I don't want to be too far away with my bridge hand, too long with my cue, because the tendency is still to bring the cue a little bit too far back, and you might end up over hitting the shots. So obviously it's a little bit different if these lines are more this way. Obviously you've got a little bit more room for error there, but I always play a little bit closer into the cue ball now, and I just feel it gives me more control. So similar shot again. Trace of right, just below centre. So you can see a bit of a pattern now. Similar shot again. Trace of right, just below centre. And you can see how close to the next ball. Never too wide, and that's all because of just the height I'm playing the cue ball at. If I go too low, you're just going to end up too wide. So if you can get to grips with playing this type of shot, this will improve your break building and your play in and around the black, in and around these balls and the pink. So trace of right, low on the cue ball, leave myself a nice little angle. Similar again, trace of right, about centre ball. So just staying within that line. So I think we'll play this one. So just run the cue ball through, just need to leave a nice angle on the black. So again, if you can get to grips with playing these shots, this is another one now. Don't want anything below centre on the cue ball, otherwise it's just going to go off the cushion and then come too wide. So I want to be probably just above centre on the cue ball, trace of left, and just watch the line the cue ball takes. So it stays a little bit more straight, doesn't go too wide. So probably overhit that one slightly. So a similar shot on the pink now. The red, sorry. So people will think that they're going to hit the black, but I will be a little bit higher on the white again. Trace of left. If I go too low or centre now, again, we're going to come out too far and come too wide. So a little bit higher, trace of left, cue ball, miss the black, but it keeps us in nice control and for the next reds. So now you can come at either side. I think we'll stay on this side. So trace of left, probably centre ball now. Cue ball off the cushion, onto the red. So just run this red through. Probably going to land probably just on the tape or just before. So let's have a look at the pink. I think we'll play the pink. So trace of left. Slow on the cue ball. So you can kind of see that, how that closer bridge just gives me a lot more control when I'm playing these delicate shots. So I would definitely give it a go. Certainly nothing lost. I'm just going to play on for the pink. So just below centre. So I don't mind playing these shots. I know I can play them delicate enough. So we'll finish with red, pink and black. Low on the cue ball, trace of right. So pink, off the cushion. Onto the black. Trace of left. And we've potted the black. So you can see, playing these shots a little bit differently. Like I said, if you can get to grips with just not hitting too low, so just give it a practice. You might think that you're going to hit the other reds, but just trust me, just play a little bit higher than you think, and the cue ball will not come as wide. It'll stay more narrow, and you'll be closer to the next ball, and I guarantee that it'll improve how you do the lineup, and especially more consistency. So again, just notice how close I was with my bridge hand as well. I think it gives you more control. You don't need to play anything with power doing this routine. You know, we're not landing anywhere near a cushion, so we don't need to play longer screw shots on and off the cushion. you know, so give that a go. But I think if you can get to grips, like I said, with just hitting a little bit higher on the cue ball around here and trying to come up more down this line, just try and visualize a cue. So it's up to you how close you go. If you get comfortable playing there, just move it a little bit closer and then you can go closer in again. So like I said, I'm pretty confident with my cue ball control, so I had these in quite close. But give it a go, let me know what you think, comment in the comment section and just let me know. So there we go folks, a bit of a variation of the lineup, still exactly the same principle but just setting them parameters. Obviously I was a little bit closer, I'm just used to playing these kind of shots so I can get away with putting them closer and playing a little bit more delicately, but obviously you can set them a little bit wider. Obviously I know if you're playing on a club table you're not going to be able to start putting masking tape on it, so just draw an imaginary line, imagine maybe a foot from the cushion to start with. Try and keep the cue ball in that area in the centre of the table, and then as you progress you can always bring them a little bit further inwards, and then your cue ball control is going to have to be a lot better. But this is a great drill, especially for getting used to playing the cue ball in slightly different areas, so not hitting too low and bringing the cue ball too wide. Can't stress that enough. Playing anywhere near a cushion is not nice, and when you can play these shots where you're coming a little bit narrower up the table and a little bit easier on the next balls, then obviously things become a lot easier. So as always, if you do like the content, please like, share and subscribe, and also coaching is available with myself in this room, so do get in touch. Go and check out all the other videos on my channel. Like I said, any comments just leave in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So good luck and we'll see you for the next video.